A joint panel of House and Senate lawmakers looking into the deadly flood that killed 27 children and counselors at Camp Mystic last summer wrapped up their work and adopted their final report today. They concluded that the Christian youth camp failed to meet state emergency requirements or do enough to prepare for the deadly July 4th, 2025 flood. The committee investigators highlighted their findings to state lawmakers today, particularly how several staff and counselors did not know what was happening, and when they did realize it, they had no training or instruction on what to do during an emergency like the flood. The investigators say the reunification efforts and incident management were really badly done. They were chaotic with traumatic effects for families. Investigators found that there was ample time to be able to safely evacuate all the campers, but Camp Mystic did not have a written emergency plan that complied with state requirements.
If there was any threshold of flooding at which sheltering in place would be abandoned and campers would be instructed about how and where to evacuate to higher ground, that plan only would have been known to Dick Eastland. We say this because Dick has passed and we can't ask him about it. But a plan that existed only in Dick Eastland's head is not a plan that satisfied the state's rules for camps like Camp Mystic. And when disaster struck, and it did strike on July 4 of last year, it may as well have been no plan at all.
State lawmakers say the report's findings will be used to guide policy changes that they plan to push forward when the state legislature reconvenes in 2027. State Senator Charles Perry says that he believes most of the issues in the report were already addressed by the package of legislation on youth camp safety, emergency preparedness, and response planning that state lawmakers passed last year. Only a few tweaks might be needed, though, to them. Senate Committee Chair, State Senator Pete Flores, says that he hopes the findings and lessons learned will prevent future loss of life.
The Camp Mystic investigation serves not only as a record of what happened, but as a foundation for continued improvement. We must remain vigilant in strengthening preparedness, enhancing coordination amongst agencies, and ensuring that emergency plans are not merely written, but practiced and ready when they are needed the most. Because, folks, the monster's coming back, and we need to be better prepared for it, and we will be.
The committee's chairs say with the issuance of the report, they have concluded their work. A total of 119 people died in the flooding in Kerr County, and 135 people died in other parts of the state. This report was laser focused on Camp Mystic and what happened there, not what happened at Sandy Creek or anywhere else in the state. Investigators have said that's what they were hired to focus on. The state representative Joe Moody, a Democrat from El Paso, said that he believes the task is not done because there were other flood response failures in other parts of the state that led to people's deaths.